Oh my God, who books this stuff? Ricky Glam, the one-man glam, the worst talk show imaginable, FGW's.
Don't you have a talk show? Why didn't they book your talk show?
I don't know. Like, why is there ever any other talk show when JC Flash works here?
I think the words JC Flash answers your question.
I say there's snow all over the ground, but it's good to be back in your town of Hamilton, my friends. Well, where do I begin? You see, last week I stepped into a den of sin. I suffered a defeat, and I'm feeling pretty weak because Chronos cracked my ribs.
Ooh.
I couldn't stop his attack, but at some point I will get you back, baby. You know, there's a lot of things happening here in FGW, a lot of questions. And tonight, on the Glam Slam, baby, because from pillar to post, from coast to coast, I am the one who knows the most. Therefore, I am the host of the Glam Slam. We're going to get down to some questions. Now, I got to be real professional out here tonight, baby, because my guest tonight is Shay Solo on the Glam Slam, baby!
These two guys hate each other. He may hate Ricky more than you.
I don't think that's humanly
He
possible.
set Ricky's hair on fire, Jason.
Oh, that was one of my favorite moments in the history of my life. One of the greatest moments in time that I have ever witnessed.
Shay Solo with that Roach title he stole from Ryan Wylde and Stevel.
Does that mean Shay Solo is Roach now? I mean, that's their identity. You know, that's what the title represents, right?
It's what they say.
Solo! My bad.
Get it right, Ricky!
You're right. Solo. You know, me and you, no secret. We ain't friends. Nope. But tonight, I'm going to keep it real professional. So, what happened at the Super Zeta tournament, baby? What happened? Elaborate?
Alright, first off, everybody shut up so I can educate all of you. So, in the Super Zeta tournament, as I was on my way to win the entire thing, somehow, this loser, who the Bold and the Beautiful beat in a loser league town match, somehow comes back. Somehow he's back at FGW. Like, who's running this place? These morons can't tell that Strider is the same guy as Kid Bullet.
So what you're saying is Strider? He's Kid Bullet? Is that what you're saying? I couldn't tell. He looks totally different to me. He got a different outfit. No, I mean.
He does have a different outfit, JC.
You're a moron, so you must be handed it. That makes sense.
And he is a moron, Ripper.
You're a moron like all these fools. I am the most infuriating person in FGW. I am so beside myself. You guys pulled this crap on Shake Solo. You pulled this on the Bacchanal and Mac Daddy. I am so infuriated. I am so angry that you took the Super Zeta tournament from Shake Solo. You all know I would have won that tournament if it wasn't for the show.
And how about this? Russell Bland and the one true legend, Jake Shepard, the quintessential male, crashing the Glam Slam.
Damon Strider has a win over Jake Shepard as well since his return.
You know, Shay Solo does make a point. David Strider and Kid Bullet, they are the same person, Ripper. Kid Bullet lost the Loser Leaves Town match, and now he's back.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you, and I'm going to keep it short this time. He is the quintessential male. do my thing, man. And when I'm done, you can keep my pinky ring. We all marquee players, and right now, my brother got something he wanted to get off his chest.
You know, I was having a pretty good week up until I heard Shay Solo say he's the most infuriated, most angry man. You see, I'm angry, I'm infuriated because of that punk David Strider, who I know is Kid Bullet, who I know that Shay Solo clearly beat in a loser league talent match, and somehow the upper brass here are stupid enough to not realize that David Strider is Kid Bullet.
They all from Hamilton.
He didn't have a mask on. Right. I demand that David be fired.
Hey, JC, relax.
I'm relaxed. And there he is, the man in question, David Strider, standing on the ramp, about to address the topic at hand tonight on the Glam Slam. Let's find out what David's got to say. And find a microphone that works. Technical difficulties. Russell Bland holding the ropes for Damon. Russell Bland, the second flyest guy in FGW Ripper.
Group of unproven, unexcellent failures of the trials of excellence running amok with my good name. Now it is true, about a year ago this time, a certain individual, Kid Bullet, lost a match that forces him to leave FGW. But let me ask all of you this. Who here has seen Kid Bullet wrestle a match so far at FGW? Not me. Not me.
Oh, excuse me, we wrestled you, Kid Bullet.
I'm pretty sure Kid Bullet signed a contract stating that he would have to leave FGW if he lost. But I'm also pretty sure David Strider signed a contract allowing me to be right here with you wonderful people at FGW. You can fact check that.
How exactly does that work? David Strider, Kid Bullet, one and the same.
To clarify, this is clearly
Loopholes, baby, loopholes.
okay.
Well, so what we're saying is, baby, we want to get down to the bottom. Is that what you're saying?
Are you deaf or dumb, Ricky?
What?
Are you deaf or dumb? Clearly, we want to talk to the upward. Keep up for that kid. Get him out of here.
Hey! Fine, Inspector. Did you come on out, baby? Wake up.
David Barnum Spector, in fact, is the guy who signed Damon Strider to a contract with FGW and put him in the Zeta tournament.
Who told you that?
I know stuff, JC.
And here comes the general manager, David Barnes.
No, it's Mitch Magnus.
You're right, Mitch Magnus. Even JC Flash makes a mistake every once in a while. Got about half the roster out here in the ring right now. Mitch Magnus, of course, the owner of FGW, dethroned Ryan Levick a few weeks ago.
I'm the owner around here, and if anybody's going to take care of this problem, it's going to be me, okay? This is not a problem for David Barnum Spector. Now, what's the problem?
That Kid Bullet is the problem. Oh my God!
My name, sir, is David Strider.
He's not obeying his
He might want to call David. He might want to call David for this.
Okay.
Because like I said, David Barnum Spector is the guy who signed Damon Strider.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on. And this is fair. David, when you get out here, please, this is about you need to handle it, if you will.
That's management for you right there.
Ripper is the general manager of FGW, the man that runs the day-to-day operations here at Future Great Wrestling. Gonna try to clear up all this mess that's happening right now in the Glam Slam. Ricky Glam lost complete control.
How are the ribs? Chronos sends his best through.
He got beat up last week. He's last recorded.
You know, on the topic of you, Damon Strider, awfully strong coincidence that Damon Strider looks an awful lot like Kid Bullet.
I'm really not seeing it. I am really not
As a
seeing it.
matter of fact, Damon Strider also smells an awful lot like Kid Bullet.
I don't want to know how he knows that.
And it stinks of conspiracy.
I can smell it from here.
Ripper, I smell the
But
conspiracy.
I tell you what, Mitch, I have
That just might be your lack of deodorant.
that can shed some light on this tawdry situation. And he is none other than my close personal friend, my confidant.
That's a lie. He has no close
Ladies
personal
and gentlemen,
friends.
Please welcome Jackson Reeves.
How about this? Jackson Breeze, the former general manager.
Wait a minute,
of
wait a minute,
FGW.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. First it's Mitch. Mitch passes the buck to David. And basically all David is doing is now passing the buck to Jackson
Let me
Breeze.
tell you something, Ripper. There is nothing that Mitch Magnus, David Barnabas Spector, and Jackson Breeze cannot do when they put their minds together. They're going to get the bottom of this. They're going to clear this up.
Ins and outs of the FGW bylaws. It's certainly a gentleman of class and sophistication such as yourself. So please tell me that you have found the information to dispose of this imposter who's obviously Kid Bullet.
Well, David, you're right. After the last few months, there's absolutely nobody in this company that knows more about the rules and regulations of Future Great Wrestling.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And as for your questions, I have the answer. It's right here on page 2062. And it absolutely...
Takes 2,062 pages to get to the answer to this.
There is absolutely nothing in the bylaws of Future Great Wrestling that says a wrestler cannot reinvent himself and become somebody different. And the icing on the cupcake is, David, you signed the contract.
Told ya.
You signed a legal binding agreement with this gentleman right here.
Under false pretenses! Under false pretenses! I didn't know this was Kid Bullet! I had no clue!
It is not. You read his contract and you check his paperwork that's attached to it. This is not Kid Bullet.
You're blood, guys.
This is David Strider.
Damon Strider.
We have a signed contract by David Barnabas Spector. And it is legal and binding.
Listen, all of you. Right now, as it stands, David Strider is officially on the FGW roster. But, Strider, this is a warning. Even the slightest misstep, and you're gone from FGW forever.
David Barnabas Spector, a fair man, doing the right thing. Spector owns up to his mistakes, Ripper.
That's it. Get out. Let's do some wrestling. You guys, haha. Hey, Russell, if you was a good manager, you could have spun that. I'm just saying. Get out of here. Life of Pi, J.J. Walker look-alike.
Entered here on the Grand Slam! Out of here!
Look at Ricky got to the. He solved the problem.
Ricky didn't do anything. David Barton respected.
Thank you, Ricky. Thank you.
Jackson Breeze.
The
Those are the
flashbang.
guys who handled this.
The flashbang would have never gotten to the bottom of this.
I am not even gonna entertain that with a response, folks.
Never.
Convoluted start to Shockwave tonight. We're gonna take a commercial break, get everything back together, and come at you with some of the best wrestling action you've ever seen. Be ready for it.
Chronos has just been on a tear lately. If you've been here for Friday Night Fury, you have seen this. I believe maybe only his second appearance on Shockwave, but they took out Justin Dream, and ever since then, David Barnes Spectre has brought out the Black Sheep mask. He's so slimy, I can't stand David Barnes Spectre. Cronus, look at the size of Cronus, look. It's like something out of a horror movie.
Cronus, the Berserker, one of the most dominating, devastating individuals you'll ever come across. I'm JC Flash, being accompanied by River Blackheart. You're watching FGW Shockwave on YouTube. I'd like to thank you for joining us. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate it very much. Chronos, a beyond intimidating man.
And his opponent from Dublin, Ohio. He represents the Celtic Cousins, Ryan O'Shea.
The crowd really seems to get behind Brian O'Shea and his cousin, Jonah Wales, the Celtic Cousins. But man, does he have his work cut out for him tonight.
Now, I was just going to say, after tonight, this might be the last time we ever see Brian O'Shea. Chronos the Berserker, an absolute destroyer of a human being, if he is even a human being.
Brian O'Shea has a lot of heart.
That heart might be splattered all over the ring.
And I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Chronos eats hearts.
Referee Anthony calling for the bell, and here we go. That drop kick coming out like a house on fire is
Brian O'Shea wasting no time.
Shoulder, but it was not enough to knock down Chronos.
Chronos still standing.
Trying to get these FGW fans rallied behind him. I don't think he needs to worry about anything other than what's right in front of him, what he's being held by. That beast, Chronos. The Berserker with a massive fall-away slam, nearly throwing Brian O'Shea out of the ring ripper.
It's bad enough that you're taking a beating from Chronos, but then you've got David Byrne Spectre on the outside just badgering you and talking down to you during all of it. The guy never shuts up. Just keeps talking and talking. Doesn't let anybody get a word in edgewise. You know the type I'm talking about, JC.
Not really.
Tossing Brian O'Shea across the ring again.
Holy freaking Beal. Brian O'Shea just dumped like yesterday's garbage. You called it right across the ring.
Brian O'Shea, helpless to the psychopath. Just a right hand. He just hold just a right fist to the face.
The scientific name of that maneuver. Oh my God, Brian O'Shea.
Get off them ropes, Brian, because you can't do stuff like that with Chronos in the ring. He takes advantage of everything that's around him.
Ripper, you read my mind. Brian O'Shea to voluntarily put his throat across the rope like that. Bad idea.
Leg drop across the ropes as well.
The shades of the Undertaker.
This Chronos is devastating. I don't know why anybody would sign a contract to get in the ring with this man. He is not a wrestler. He is a homicidal maniac.
Now, Chronos may be acting as an Undertaker before the end of this match.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a Netflix series already, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I certainly never want to be on that person's bad side, Chronos.
Now, wait. Now, I'm going to have issues if they mess with my buddy Rick, though. We'll have to call somebody out here. You guys leave Slick Rick alone. He's just trying to do his job. 27 years, he's been doing the job.
Leaping elbow smash to Brian O'Shea, who is not looking so hot at this particular time. David Barnabas Spector having some words. That's now.
Foot across the throat.
O'Shea just
Anthony.
windpipe crushed.
Anthony doing his best not to be intimidated by this monster and try to have some kind of authority in that ring. And he's tangling him up in the ropes. What's he going to do? Don't do it. And David, look at David. He loves this.
Like that?
This sick SOB just eating us up.
You know, Ripper.
His birthday. I thought he crawled out from under a rock. I didn't know he had a birthday.
Our microphones didn't pick it up. David Barnabas Spector saying this is like his birthday and Christmas all in one. Loving what he's seeing from Chronos the Berserker. Chronos just like a...
This is getting uncomfortable to watch, JC.
Just toying with O'Shea. Now here we go, shoulder thrust into the corner. Driving that massive frame into the midsection of Brian O'Shea one time after another, again and again. Referee Anthony, a couple steps back right there.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Like I said, this is getting very uncomfortable to watch, JC. He's just brutalizing. Brutalizing is the word that comes to mind.
And like our great GM, David Barnabas Spector, I do enjoy a great display of violence, and that's what we're seeing right now, a one-sided assault from Chronos.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time we take this poor unfortunate soul down the portal to hell!
And down the portal to hell he goes! Mercifully, I think this one's finally over, and it is!
Thank God.
What a devastating match!
Chronos, the Berserker!
Ripper, that match, it was the definition of one-sided. Brian O'Shea got almost no offense in. A little bit of flurry at the beginning, but...
What's David do?
The spirit of a mastodon. Yeah,
Oh no.
Come on, this is uncalled for. David, he's had enough. You've beaten this guy within an inch of his life.
Yeah, Ripper, this is too much. Like Chronos, he's made his point. Brian O'Shea, like the man
You
of the
beat
family.
the guy. You beat the guy. Is that not enough? You beat him. You got the victory. You're taking home the winner's purse.
Ripper, I would watch what you say this close to Chronos, okay? You don't want this to happen to you.
I don't want this to happen to anybody.
Oh my God. Brian O'Shea, somebody's got to do something about this, but who is going to stop Chronos? David Barnabas Spector encouraging this. And what's this?
Who's coming? He's back!
Chronos he's going for that black hole slam. Oh no, wait a minute.
Oh, he brought an equalizer with him this time.
He certainly did. What is
David Darren Spector, he's thinking better of this.
You just made the biggest mistake in your life! Stay back! Stay back! Stay back!
What does Justin Dream have to say?
Remember me? Looks like you got something that belongs to Sheepy. You know what? I'm sick and tired of seeing the 300-pound freak trying to run much on FGW. So you know what? David, bring your 300-pound abomination to Origins next week and fight me like a man.
What a challenge! Lay down!
I'll be the best. I'll fight you one-on-one.
What you got to say, David? What you got to say? It's different when you don't jump the guy from behind. It's different when he can see you coming.
You didn't take my hit! You should have stayed away! You want it so bad! You got it! You got it! But be careful what you ask for, boy!
And there you hear it. David Spector making it official. It will be Chronos versus the Black Sheep Justin Dream. It will happen 1 week from tonight. Our biggest show of the year, Origins 3.
Somebody might die, JC. Somebody might die in that match.
All right, folks, we got to take it to commercial, but we have a huge night ahead of us. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss what's to come. Welcome back to FGW Shockwave. Triple threat action underway. Shay Solo, Ryan Michaels, and Ryan Wylde. All members of their respective teams who have had a plethora of problems with one another. And here we go, the assault. Look at this, the double team on Shay Solo. Temporary alliance by Ryan Wylde and Ryan Michaels. And Shay Solo on the wrong end of this beatdown. Ryan Michaels with the assist. And Shay Solo knocked down Hard Ripper.
This has been boiling for months. These three teams have just been at each other. Look at Jacob hitting Ryan Michaels in the back.
Ryan Michaels taking it to Shay Solo, taking it to the midsection, taking it to the back, smacking Shay Solo anywhere he can find a big body slam. Look at this now. Ryan Wylde up on the second rope, and look at this. Here we go. Fader bomb.
Roach
Ryan Wylde.
the two Ryans kind of working together right now. Oh, said that too soon.
Ryan Michaels just turning himself inside out, taking it to Ryan Wylde there. Shay Solo, meanwhile, still incapacitated over on the other side of the ring. Michaels
And I don't know if it's a good idea to have all the tag partners out here doing this. Like I said, they have been at each other's throats for months, all three of these teams. Roach and Bold and the Beautiful, the Blackheart Foundation, and Roach.
That's right, the tag team division really heating up around here, Ripper.
Hands down, these are the three top teams at the moment in FGW. These two guys, Ryan Wylde and Ryan Michaels, I've never seen two guys beat the crap out of each other as much as these two do.
We're seeing proof of that right now. And Ryan Wylde catching Ryan Michaels. Shea Solo, the drop kick. And both men topple over. Shea Solo looking to capitalize. Here we go. Ryan Wylde able to easily get out of that, but Ripper, I think there's a lot more match left.
All into the post. Steve checking on his brother. Here comes Jacob tried to do something shady. Steve was there to cut him off. And while all that's going on, Shea Solo firmly in control.
A wild situation going on. Lots of combustible elements around the ring.
Back and forth. A little bit on Wylde, a little bit on Michaels.
The tag team division in FGW really heating up as of late. And folks, keep in mind, this is a triple threat match, which means first fall to a finish. This is not elimination. The first man that can pin any other man, 1, 2, 3, submitting them in the middle of the ring, that will be the winner of this match. There are no disqualifications, no countouts. And what a display of strength, lifting Ryan Michaels' entire body off the ground, Ripper.
Not looking good for my guy. Ryan Michaels, the Top Gun, the Maverick of FGW.
That bonsai drop to the leg, and now we have Shea Solo taking it to the gut, and down the throat of Ryan Wylde.
Jacob's over there on.
Harley Fairfax in pursuit of Jacob Rose.
I don't think Shea Solo has done one legal maneuver in this match. He has done nothing but choke and scratch and use his tag team partner on the outside to take advantage. Even Steve has not interjected himself into this match, which is amazing, by the way.
Stomp to the back by Ryan Wylde, breaking up that pinfall attempt. Shea Solo driving those shoulders into the gut of the King of Busters, Ryan Wylde. How crafty was that? Ryan Michaels taking advantage of those circumstances, and all three men are down.
That's why he's the Top Gun, baby. Hail to the king. Come on, Michaels. You know what Ryan Michaels' favorite thing in the world is to do?
What's that?
Beat up Shea Solo.
And, he is the excellence of cerebral assassinations. Ryan Michaels giving everything he has in the ring tonight. And here we have a big old backbreaker.
I can't figure out Shea Solo's shirt. Why has he got like a cartoon version of Life of Pi on his shirt?
That's exactly the image that Shea was going for. Nonetheless, Shea Solo on the back suplex, high on the neck. Ryan Michaels lands hard. Shea Solo
to the choke. He's to the choke.
He should have went for the cover there, Ripper.
He should have, and that's why my team is better than either one of these teams, because they know.
Here's the thing. Emotions are running high. Shea Solo, he'll admit, his emotions get the better of him sometime. He just wants to punish Ryan Michaels. Wants to punish Ryan Wylde. Steve-O, Harley Fairfax, everybody on these teams. Shea Solo, he's had enough.
And now he's paying the price. Oh, Jacob just clocked Ryan Wylde.
And Ripper, I'm going to point out, all of this is legal. There are no disqualifications in a triple threat match. Whether Joe Lopez sees it or not, what a stroke from Shea Solo. Here we go.
Wylde in to break up.
Whether Joe Lopez sees the outside interference or not, there's nothing he can do about it.
At the end of the day, though, you got to be able to live yourself. Do you have the integrity to call yourself a champion and Bold and the Beautiful show time and time again? They are not ready. They are not at the level of Ryan Michaels. They are not at the level of Harley Fairfax.
FGW fans, I would like to apologize. I think I may be sitting next to the biggest hypocrite that I've ever met. Some of the dirty, dastardly things that you've done in your career, you have the audacity.
All mine was justified. I was brought to it. Oh, look what we got here. Wait, what's my guy got planned? Come on. Cannonball, which is usually a Ryan Wylde move.
Well, tonight it's a Ryan Michaels move. As is that kick to the gut. Shea Solo topples downward. Ryan Michaels about out on his feet. Look at this now. What are you about to see?
Oh, again, the Ryans working together.
Boy, that's delayed double vertical suplex.
Is that the skanky leg that I keep hearing the kids talk about?
I don't think that's quite how the skanky leg goes, but...
Well, Shea Solo is a skank. Ryan Michaels breaking up that pin.
I think it's stanky leg, not skanky leg, but I could be wrong.
The bragging rights alone, whoever wins this match, the bragging rights, which between these three teams has become so important. Each team wanting to claim that they are better than the other two.
And you know, that's what it's all about. Competition here at FGW. And Shea Solo now with a submission on Ryan Wylde. Harley Fairfax clapping, trying to get these people on their feet, trying to will on Ryan Michaels and even Ryan Wylde. If Ryan Wylde were to be defeated while Ryan Michaels is out, that would be into this match. Shea Solo would be the winner ripper.
Back to that choke, back to the shortcuts. That's what's so disappointing. They have all the talent in the world. I'll give them that. Bold and Beautiful, all the talent in the world. And they choose not to use it. They choose to take the shortcut. They think that they are owed something in this world, and anything they are owed.
Famous and patented Shea Solo. This will be all. Can he turn Ryan Michaels over? Can he get the cover? He does. This is it. That's 1 and 2 and no.
Like I was saying, the only thing they are owed. Oh, another pin attempt. The only thing they're owed is a jack in the jaw and a boot in the ass. Look at that. Ryan Wylde's like begging him to come to him.
Measuring Shea Solo.
Snake eyes.
Right into the corner. Look at this now, Ryan Wylde off the ropes. Clothesline onto the floor, or I should say the apron. Goes Ryan Michaels. Shea Solo now. Trying to take advantage. A knee clip. And now Shea Solo taking to that same knee, the stomp. The kick thrown the way of Harley Fairfax, ripper.
He better just concentrate on who's in the ring. He don't want no piece of Harley. Harley make him cry more than he does already.
Harley Fairfax having an incredible match earlier tonight on Friday Night Fury, our live show. That is not televised on Shockwave, but you can catch that match on Patreon. A $5, $10, and $15 tier. The $10 tier will get you Origins 3, which will take place next week, our biggest show of the year. You do not want to miss that. $15 extra added content. And this triple threat match has been beyond competitive. Sunset flip over the top rope, and Ryan Wylde not going to let that happen. Lateral press, Shea Solo breaks it up, ripper.
And that's the thing with a triple threat match. There's always somebody there to break up the pin. You got to literally incapacitate two men to get yourself a victory in one of these matches. Spine buster!
Shades of AA Arn Anderson from Ryan Michaels. German. Ryan Michaels not breaking that grip. Very
There's a second one. Can we get a third?
Oh my
No, they're not.
God.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh! Ryan Wylde throws both of them over his head with ease, mind you.
A heap of humanity tossed backward in the air, crashes and burns. Ryan Michaels and Shea Solo have not moved a whole lot since taking that devastating maneuver. I hope both these guys are okay. That was nasty, Ripper.
It's like a train wreck in there right now, JC. Now this is something you don't see every day. Shea Solo and Ryan Michaels working together to take out the bigger man. And they failed.
Honestly, I'm surprised they were even able to stand after being thrown backward like that with a double German suplex, or a triple German suplex. 3 people involved in that move. That was insane.
And if it was me, Ryan Wylde is the guy I would have made sure was out of this. Oh, Jacob grabbing the leg.
And look at this now.
Steve-O up on the ramp now.
Now roll up Ryan Wylde. Not going to happen. Look at this now. Ryan Michaels had the same idea as Shea, trying to beat him in his own game.
And the kick out. Michaels bumps into Steve-O. Here we go. I told you.
Harley Fairfax having some words with Steve-O. Shea Solo shoving Harley. And Fairfax.
Harley gets in the ring. Steve-O's getting in the ring. Jacob's in the ring.
And all hell is broken loose, Ripper.
Joe Kopaz will have none of it.
I don't understand. There's no disqualification. Joe
But he
Kopaz.
has the discretion
It's
to
true.
throw a match out.
It's true.
He knows how this is going for months.
Joe Kopaz feeling that he has lost complete control.
Oh no, here comes the owner.
That's right. That's the music of Mitch Magnus.
Hey! Shut me from apart right now, hey! Y'all better listen up right now, because this type of stuff, Brian ain't in charge somewhere. This can't happen. It won't happen. So I tell you what, you all seem to have all this tension built up with each other. Origins 3, there's gonna be a 6-person tag match. And let me tell you something. Just to make sure you all learn how to get along, it's gonna be a random draw 6-person tag match. So good luck.
So they're going to take everybody's name in that ring and have 2 teams of 3 and have a match. Imagine the combinations you could get in a random draw.
Yeah, that's also what I gathered from Mitch Magnus. What a ruling by the owner of our company, Mitch Magnus, doing a great job ever since taking over for Brian Levick.
If you think it's chaos now, wait till that match happens.
Yeah, that is going to be pandemonium. All right, folks, we have to go to commercial, but don't go anywhere. We still have so much to come. The contract signing of Logan Blackheart and Amos for the Super Zeta Memorial Championship Tournament. The finals will take place in Origins 3, not to mention our main event tonight. It is going to be a huge match, and you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. FGW Shockwave. And once again, for the third time tonight, we are being joined by the owner and operator of FGW. He is the wrestling savant, the former FGW champion. This is Mitch Magnus.
Mitchy boy, if you will.
FGW, my crowd's looking good. You know, I come out here at the top of this show, FGW, I got a few things to say, and I know
A lot of disrespect to the owner, Mitchy boy, from the crowd here.
Absolutely disgusting.
You want Brian back? Is that what you want? Security! Escort him out of our building right now! Let's go! Get over here!
Hey!
Come on, move yourself!
Now, wait a minute. Because one of the fans said they want Ryan Wylde back. He's throwing him out of the building.
Let me tell you something, Ripper. Mitch Magnus not tolerating disrespect. This is not Ryan Wylde's FGW. Mitch Magnus will not be stuffed all over by these FGW fans.
Is he seriously throwing someone out of the building? No refunds?
Don't mess with Mitch Magnus. That's a lesson he learned.
Why don't you walk yourself right on over here? Try your best to get in this ring, you buffoon. Because I got a few more things I need to go over with you.
Mitch Magnus requesting Brian waddle his way onto the ring.
Now, Mitch did keep Brian on the staff after winning ownership of the FGW, and I don't know why Brian would stick. Brian loves FGW so much. Anything he can do to be a part of it.
Out of the kindness of Mitch Magnus' heart, he allows this.
Keep your space. Keep your space. No, I'm not scared. Just keep your space. I need to tell you something very important. You see, Ryan, the contract you signed out here for owner of FGW, it wasn't just for FGW. You see, Ryan, I now own your comic book shop, and I now own the home where you live. That comic book shop is getting sent right up to Oxford and out of this stinkhole Hamilton.
Big news.
Secondly, FGW Wrestling will be done after Origins 3. I'm selling this whole place.
What?
We're done after Origins 3. Enjoy it.
Ryan Levick requesting a microphone. Ripper, that.
So, Brian, listen, you got 30 days to vacate my home. Because I'll be moving in with all my fly stuff.
Look, bitch, you can't do this, man. You can't do this. Everything we went through. Look, maybe you were a little dirty last match we had, but you can't take my home away. You can't take my business. I worked hard. I've been in here for 4 years, helping the people, trying to make Hampton better. You can't do this to me.
You know, Brian, you're right. I can't do that. Because it's already been done.
What?
You got 30 days to get the packing and get the moving. Because Mitchie is moving in, man. 30 days.
I can't believe what I've just heard.
Gotta be away, man. Look. I'll tell you what, bitch. I'll tell you what, man. Give me one more shot in here. Give me one more shot at Origins. If I lose, I'll pack it up. I'll go back to Colorado, man. You'll never have to see me here again. As much as I love this town, you'll never have to see me again. If you win, give me back the company, man.
You're telling me if I have a rematch, I win, you go back to Colorado. You're out of here. You're done. I can sell the company after Origins 3. Move the comic book shop. Move into my new house. You're gone.
It's the only option I have. I gotta do something, man. You will not see me again. I'll go back to Colorado.
I'll tell you what, Ryan. Going back to Colorado, that's good, but that's just not good enough. See, if I beat you, you go back to Colorado, and I don't ever want to see your name affiliated with professional wrestling again. No companies in Colorado, no boys up there, nothing to do with professional wrestling ever again. Everything you build here, I'm going to burn down to the ground. You want a rematch, Brian? I'll tell you what. Origins 3 in 1 week. Brian, I only do the rematch if it's a no disqualification match. Because I'm going to hurt you, Brian. I'm going to send you in an ambulance back to Denver, Colorado. You're done. No disqualification, Brian. Origins 3? What did he say? That is, if he is too scared to get beat again. I didn't think so.
And there it is, Ripper. This match is official. I'm shaken by what we just heard. Ripper, what are you thinking? Like, what's going on in your mind right now? Like, what are your thoughts about this?
1 week, Brian.
So let me wrap my head around this. So Mitchie Boy has agreed to a rematch against Brian Levick for the ownership of FGW, the comic book shop, and the house that he already owns. But if Brian loses, he has to go back to Colorado and never participate in wrestling again?
And this could be the very last episode of Shockwave. This could be after Origins 3. If Mitch wins, the company is gone.
I only see a win-win for Mitchie Boy here.
I think that I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think in Origins I'm rooting for Brian Levick. FGW be gone forever.
No DQ.
Oh, what a revelation, folks! Don't go anywhere. We have to go to commercial. Stay tuned.
Chronos, the Berserker, in a big one-on-one grudge match. And you just heard it. Brian Levick against Mitchie Boy, but the stakes are high in that one. That's all 1 week from tonight. Who's got tickets to Origins? Ladies and gentlemen, our first match here tonight is one fall, scheduled with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Chicago, Illinois, the Juggernaut, Jax!
As you all know, last week I had an open invitation to anybody in that back that wanted to come out. And the juggernaut was successful. I saw y'all tweets. Tweets. I saw y'all Instagrams. And most importantly, I saw your Facebook requests. So by popular demand, I am issuing a second week open challenge. Wherever you are, get your hands out here. Let's go.
Welcome back to Shockwave Open Challenge from Jax Gardner.
Second week in a row. And look who's answering the call. None other than one of the Celtic cousins. It's Jonah Wales.
Representing Celtic cousins.
Jonah Wales answering this open challenge from Juggernaut Jax. I'm JC Flash alongside Ripper Blackheart at ringside. And Ripper, I am still beside myself by the news that we just heard. After Origins 3 could be the very last FGW show. Mitch Magnus, if he defeats Ryan Levick, he's going to shut down the company, he's going to take his house. Brian's going to have to move across the country back to Colorado. And right now, Juggernaut Jax making an impact for however much time he has left in FGW. Second week in a row.
I might be wrong, but doesn't Jonah hold a victory over Jax? I believe he does.
Let's see if Jonah Wales can hold another victory over Jax. If they would defeat him tonight, that would be huge for Jonah Wales. Really proving himself. He can take down the Juggernaut once again for however much time FGW has left. Snapmare really controlling the bigger, stronger competitor, Ripper.
Yeah, Jax is big and strong, and he relies on that a lot. Here's the thing. Jonah's a wrestler. Jonah can out-wrestle him any day of the week. He may not be able to match him strength-wise, size-wise, but the endurance of Jonah Wales is like superhuman. The guy never seems to get winded. He just goes, and he made that quite evident in the match that he had that's up for match of the year against Matthew Taylor, if you will.
Yakuza kick straight into Jonah Wales. Down, but is he out? Jax Gardner standing over his prey, stalking Jonah Wales methodically. The stomps into the side, into the ribs of Jonah Wales.
Like I said, there's nothing fancy about Jax. Jax just stomps you. Jax just beats you. Jax just throws you around, slams you down. Not a lot of technical prowess with Jax, but when you're as big and strong as he is, you don't really need it.
Jax just bringing the pain. And speaking of pain, Jonah's partner Brian O'Shea feeling a lot of pain against Chronos. Absolutely dominated earlier tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about these Celtic cousins. The first one took on that berserker Chronos and just got beat within an inch of his life. Then Jonah's coming out here answering the open challenge of Juggernaut Jax.
Jax got that near fall there off that sidewalk slam. Hopefully for Jonah's sake, he bears better than Ryan O'Shea did earlier tonight.
It's not looking that way so far, JC.
And Juggernaut Jax in complete control.
There may be a wake in the Celtic cousins' future.
And Jax lunging into Jonah Wales with that elbow drop, and now a rear chin lock applied. Maybe even a sleeper hold that might be.
And like I said, the endurance and the durability of Jonah. This is actually a smart strategy to use a sleeper hold type maneuver, and also Jax putting all that weight on top of him.
Absolutely. Can you imagine getting your neck face squeeze like that by a man the size and strength of Juggernaut Jax. A simple maneuver, but an effective one, as was that. Jonah Wales taking down Juggernaut Jax, the cover, but no. Jax able to kick out. Nowhere near defeated. Not here, not yet.
Jonah Wales, usually a fun-loving guy in the ring, looks to be all business right now, JC.
Yeah, throwing that kick right into the mush of Juggernaut Jax.
He wants to have the bragging rights that he beat Jax. Jax had the open challenge. He's issued the open challenge 2 weeks in a row now. Very successful last week.
Look at this.
No, Jonah blocks it.
Twisting neck breaker, Juggernaut Jax falling backwards on his head. There we go. No hook to the leg, but...
And with somebody the size of Jax, you got to hook that monster tree trunk sized leg. Can't let him use that as leverage to kick out.
Leg lariat from Jonah Wales.
Again, no hooking of the leg. I'm telling you. It's the basics. You got to do the basics. You got to do the fundamentals, especially on the guy that outweighs you by probably close to 100 pounds.
Nice fundamental body slam there from Juggernaut Jax. Trying to chop off the head of Jonah Wales with that guillotine leg drop.
I think, too, Jonah was closer than he thought, so that leg drop, he had to kind of not get the momentum that he needed off of it. There's that back elbow them Celtic cousins like to use.
Juggernaut Jax throwing his leg over the bottom rope. Nice ring awareness. I think Jonah Wales giving Jax a little bit more of a run for his money than Jax anticipated. How about that leg drop from Jonah Wales?
A look of surprise every time. And he hooked the leg, I do believe, that time. I don't know if Jonah has the solution, to keep Jax down. I don't think he quite had that mapped out before he came out, how he would indeed defeat Jax. The chin lock of his own, sleeper type, taking him down. Probably the best strategy for Jonah as well. Take the wind, like we've said earlier in the other matches. Take the wind out of the big guy. I don't care how big and strong you are. Take their wind.
Remember, if you can't breathe, you can't win.
But Jax is fighting through it. He's up to knee, now he's up vertical base. Sheer power.
Jax sending a shockwave through the body of Jonah Wales, pun intended. A huge back suplex that was. Anthony with a double count. If he gets to 10, this will be a draw and no contest if neither man can make it to their feet. But it looks like that Jax is to his feet. Jonah also able to get to a standing position, but not for long. Juggernaut Jax lifting up Jonah Wales, pushed back into the corner, goes for the clothesline, snap jab. Goes for another clothesline, catches another snap jab. A third snap jab. A fourth snap jab.
He's feeling it now.
Gonna see. I thought it was gonna be another snap jab instead of bionic elbow off the ropes. Going for the crossbody. Jax, he's too big, too strong, but how about this? The manipulation. Almost had it. Almost had it with that inside cradle.
Jax got his foot on the rope and was able to kick out at the same time. I think he was surprised that he caught. I don't think he fully knew he caught Jonah Wales there for a second. It kind of took him by surprise. Jonah Wales all wound up now. That's something you want. You don't want Jonah to the point where he's all jazzed up.
Oh, here we go. That on prettier. Jonah's finished many matches with that. Jax knows that all too well. Not about to let it happen. A takedown from Juggernaut Jax.
Just threw his arm down there and just swatted him down like a fly.
Juggernaut Jack's taking a second to collect himself. Also, though, giving Jonah Wales some time to breathe.
Which is a mistake. Like I said, the durability and the conditioning of Jonah Wales is probably some of the best here in FGW.
Juggernaut Jax, look at this. Into the corner goes Jonah Wales. Jax now traveling across the ring. British Bulldog style running power slam. Is that all? It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, the Juggernaut, Jax!
And Jax rides a wave of momentum to Origins 3. Jax looking pretty proud of himself. What he accomplished just now, smashing Jonah Wales into the middle of the ring. All right, everybody, don't go anywhere. Gonna go to commercial.
No, wait, he's calling for the mic. He's calling for the mic.
It looks like Juggernaut Jax has something to say.
Each and every one of y'all do what I say I'm going to do. Let's kick everybody's ass. That's for you, fat boy. I'm the big man around here. Around FGW. Around all the independent wrestling. It's me. Nobody's going to stop me. Nobody's going to stop me, Juggernaut. Nobody. On that note, next week the Gorgeous 3 shut Juggernaut. You shut up. Origins 3. I'm answering all the challenge to anybody in wrestling. Not just FGW. I'll give it down to AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, or Impact. Step your ass in the ring with me.
Juggernaut Jax coming out anybody in the wrestling world.
He's on a roll. I think he's getting a little cocky. It's one thing to open challenges here at FGW when you pretty much know what the roster is, but to issue a challenge to anybody in all of professional wrestling?
All right, Ripper, we gotta pay some bills, take care of some business. We'll be right back.
This guy. I want to talk about a jerk. He went into Cody Hawk's home and Jonah Reed's home and took the Super Zeta belt right off the wall.
And folks, here he comes. The man that Ripper Blackheart was just speaking of, Amos. He is a brutal, vile, outright diabolical human being, and he doesn't deny it.
He's got the belt. How'd he get the belt back?
Did Mitch Magnus?
Mitchy boy said he was going to keep it for safekeeping until the end. He just turned around and gave it back to Amos.
You know, like, who knows what Mitch Magnus is doing these days? I mean, for God's sake, the man, you like...
Oh, now this smuck's going to talk.
Sausages. It's a mighty fine meat. Yeah! That's right, Schmucks. Tonight we celebrate Amos shorty sausage now available.
What is he talking about?
And right over there.
I think he's drunk.
And there's the music of somebody that I think may have a thing or two to say about what Amos. The words he just uttered, the strong words toward that man. Your son, Logan Blackheart, the man that will meet Amos in the finals of the Super Zeta Memorial Championship. The contract will be signed right here, right now. And Logan Blackheart wasted no time.
Logan wasted no time. He signed the contract.
Who the hell do you think you are, Logan? You've been going for a solid year, and you decide to walk back into my house, and you think that you can take away my Zeta? You got a set of balls, man. You got anything to say? Let me take it. I'm all ears. What's you gonna say?
Oh my God, and look at this, all hell is breaking loose.
So I guess Logan doesn't have anything to say.
Logan Blackheart speaking his mind through his actions. Scotty Amos dumped out to the floor. Logan Blackheart, Tope, Suicida. On to Amos. And Blackheart pressing Amos into the guardrail. Ripper, this is a fight. This is your son. He's kicking Amos's ass.
This is something that's been brewing in Logan for over a year. The last time he was here, it was Amos that left him laying after the Super Zeta final match that he had with Shauna Reed.
Absolute classic.
He has thought about this for over a year.
Amos attacking Logan Blackheart in Origins 2 after that outright incredible match that Shauna Reed and Logan Blackheart had for that Super Zeta Championship. One of the best matches in FGW history. And Logan Blackheart, you said it, Ripper, he's had enough.
Super Zeta meant so much to my son Logan. Yeah. And the fact that Amos would put his greasy, grubby hands on that title without earning it.
And Ripper, let's not forget, this could be the last match either of these two have in FGW, because FGW may not exist anymore after Origins 3.
That is so true. And if that is the case,
so much on the line.
Logan has busted open Amos.
The pride, the championship. Could be their last chance to settle this score that these FGW lights in this FGW bracket. There he is. Damn it, Juggernaut Jax. Logan Blackheart assaulted from behind by the man who put out an open challenge to anyone in Origins 3.
There's my kid fighting back. He doesn't know any better.
Oh no, and Amos, Ripper, this has got to be kind of not easy for you to watch at this point. You know what these two men are capable of. Oh my, unforgiving post into the shoulder of Logan Blackheart, the first ever FGW champion. Last year and this year's finalist for the Super Zeta Memorial Championship along with Amos. Logan Blackheart has already signed on the dotted line. Amos. Logan Blackheart, devastation rotation. And Amos,
he's signing in blood.
Yeah, you said it. That says it all. Signed the contract in his blood. Amos also very instrumental in the career, or I should say Super Zeta instrumental in the career of Amos as well. Both men trained by Cody Hawk, but Super Zeta Victor, he had a big hand in both of these guys' comeuppance in the pro wrestling industry. Oh, Ripper, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. Oh my God, Logan. Logan Blackheart powerbomb through the table from off of the top rope. He is not moving. Who knows if he's even going to be able to compete in the Super Zeta Championship tournament. It's just 1 week away. The fans chanting the name of Logan Blackheart. Ripper Blackheart throwing down the headset. And I can't blame him. This is his son. Oh, Amos, this is too much. Come on, man. Amos, settle in Origins. Ripper Blackheart. Cody Hawk!
I can't hear you now!
You shall not cheat, you shall not cheat. It just be fair.
Come on now, Taylor, what are you doing? One, two, three! He's got till 5, right? Yeah, do it. Come on, Cody. You call that hot treatment? Give up, Cody! They don't believe in you! I believed in you! I'm right here. I'm a man of the light, Joe. I wouldn't do anything wrong. Joe. Joe. Joe, look. Come on, I want to get in the ring, Joe. Let me get in the ring. Let's go. Back it up. Let me do my job. Back it up. Back it up. Let's go. Let me do my job. Let's go. Back it up. What? Come on, Cody! This is simple. Now let me hear you scream. Just stay down! It's simple! This would have been so painless! Or are you just too damn old and stupid? No! No!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout as a result of the disqualification, Cody Hawk.
Keep it, Cody. Yep. Looks a lot better. Should have helped him up instead of trying to get your belt back.
Exactly.
These people might not understand. The boys in the back might not understand. But there are things in life that go way farther than acquaintances. There is family, there is blood, there's hard work, there's sweat, and there's tears. Sean Casey, you literally just saved my life. And it is more apparent to me than it has ever been as to what I need to do next Friday night.
You better not lay down.
You better put on a good fight.
Cody, you're my brother. You're my friend.
Showcase sucks.
You're my family. Yes, that was going to be the end of your neck. But you don't owe me nothing. You don't owe me a damn thing. Because that's what family does. We have each other's back at all times. And there's never a debt owed. There's never a favor owed. It's what we do because we love each other. And I want to give you something. Big John wants to give you something, just as a little token of family, a little memorabilia to put on your wall to remember blood is thicker than water. We're 5 most wanted for life. We're family.
Oh, it's Blackheart. Is that original song, Casey?
That is family right there. That's family.
Super kick! No!
Oh, no, no.
Bring it in here. Bring it in here. It's right here, baby. Throw it up! Throw it down, baby! Sexy Sean Casey, Big John Murray, Cody Hawk, Origins 3, the 5 most wanted are back in town. Look around you. We are in the building. Now get the hell out of my building!